All right, joining us here on Real Agriculture now, we have Doug Chorney, the past president of Keystone Agricultural Producers. From Manitoba's perspective, your experience here in Manitoba with workplace health and safety and workers' compensation coverage, how does the experience here, I guess, reflect or compare with what Alberta is going through right now?
Well, there's three pieces to this, essentially. There's the coverage of the Workplace Health and Safety Act, which we had actually in place here in Manitoba back since the late 70s. Then there was the introduction of employment standards, and then WCB, finally, the third piece. In Alberta, what they're experiencing is all three coming at them at the same time. And that can be a significant transition for industry to deal with. But I have to say that in Manitoba, we've worked very hard at helping our members transition and consulted closely with government to make it practical for farmers in this transition. So I would recommend, if Alberta is looking for suggestions, that they keep talking and consulting with government to ensure that the challenges farmers face because of the unique nature of agriculture to other workplaces have to be brought to the attention of decision makers so that they bring things forward that make sense at the farm level.
Mm-hmm. What kind of impact or burden has this put on farms in Manitoba?
Well, it's actually a fair bit of work to deal with all of the compliance issues and to do it properly. But I think what regulators have demonstrated here in Manitoba is they're willing to work through that transition in staged increments, and they understand that everybody's not going to be an A-plus performer from the first day of the implementation. And we've had fairly good cooperation with authorities here in the province on that transition. There have been, of course, some farmers who choose to reject any type of change, and that can be really difficult for them when they become the focus of an investigation. And most farmers don't realize what this means to them until they actually have an incident or, at worst case, a fatality on their farm. And it is not a process that's easy to deal with. So what we've seen in Ontario and BC, where they have a much more mature farm safety regime, is they have farm safety associations to help farmers deal with that. And we're not at that stage here at this point in Manitoba, but I think that is a logical part of the process, is to either work with an existing general farm organization or establish a new farm safety association to help producers deal with incidents when they occur, and also deal with your compliance before you have an incident, because that's the best place to be, is preparing for safety all the time.
So right now in Alberta, they have the Federation of Agriculture, but not really a general farm group to represent the whole farm community?
Well, they have voluntary membership, so many farmers choose to be part of that organization, but they don't have checkoff legislation for a general farm organization, and I think that's a real deficiency when you look at commissions or commodity groups that are focused on production solely or market development solely. They really lack the experience to deal with something as general as this. Mm-hmm. And that's where CAP has been able to help our members.
So finally then, I think there's quite a bit of fear that the farm lifestyle will be hurt by this or lost. What's been the experience here in Manitoba?
I don't think that's really an issue. We talk about the corporate farm versus the family farm. In reality, 98% of corporate farms are run by families. So I think we all have a family dynamic in our farms. There are some farms that are run by non-resident operators, but for most cases, we see the very similar farm family operation continuing, and I think it is a manageable issue for family farms to continue to maintain their lifestyle and still deal with all these compliance issues.
All right. Thanks for your time, Doug.
My pleasure.